This wide view of the Missouri River Valley shows a landscape defined by dense tree lines and a massive river bend. This geography provided the physical theater for a complex, wealthy civilization. Welcome to Roosterville, USA. Settle in as we take another deep dive into our local history. Today, we are investigating the culture of the Missouri River Bend between 1800 and 1850, specifically the summer season and the 4th of July. Folklore often paints early Missourians as rugged, isolated pioneers. However, early residents of this region were far more organized and educated than those archetypes suggest. Clay and Lafayette counties were not settled by random wanderers. They were built by an organized influx of families from the Upper South. This specific transplantation of the Southern elite explains why the region could amass significant wealth in just a few decades, while creating a society that was increasingly prone to conflict. Migration routes ran from Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Maryland directly into the Missouri hemp belt. These settlers arrived with a ready-made culture, importing elite social structures and a reliance on commercial agriculture. Hemp became the dominant money crop of the era, fueling the entire plantation culture that flourished along the Missouri River. This massive profitability was entirely dependent on a system of enslaved labor. This chart shows the 1850 census data for Clay County, which recorded a total population of 9,426. Enslaved African Americans comprised 27% of that total population. In the town of Liberty, the black population exceeded 20%. The urban center was as deeply tied to the system of slavery as the rural plantations. Every Independence Day celebrated in this era was a paradaps, a festival of freedom held within a society where over a quarter of the residents were legally defined as property. Mid-century summer travel and trade relied almost exclusively on the river, as overland routes were slow and inefficient for bulk cargo. Steamboats began arriving at Lower Liberty Landing as early as 1826. By 1830, river traffic had expanded rapidly. Liberty Landing became a crucial hub for merchandise and military troops. But the summer season brought environmental volatility. The same river that drove trade created a recurring risk of catastrophic flooding. Historic floods struck in 1826, followed by an even more severe overflow in 1844 that decimated low-lying river settlements. Muddy water violently flooded into the vast agricultural fields, completely destroying the hemp crops that the regional economy relied upon. The river was the source of Liberty's immense wealth and its greatest environmental threat, dictating the rhythm of life every summer. As the region matured, the physical environment transitioned from primitive structures to institutional architecture. Early settlement was defined by simple two-story log structures with stone chimneys. Collegiate architecture arrived by the 1840s, marking the transition to formal, institutional power. These institutions fostered a rigorous academic culture. Schools like Clay Seminary included debate in their curriculum to prepare students for public life. Men looking to escape frontier isolation founded the Franklin Debate Society in 1842, using intellectual discourse to articulate their community goals. But by the 1830s, this established social order began to face increasing instability due to an influx of religious refugees. In November 1833, Mormon groups who had been forcefully expelled from neighboring Jackson County arrived at Liberty Landing via Everett's Ferry, desperately seeking sanctuary. The combination of an educated, slave-owning elite and an influx of displaced, ideologically different populations made summer gatherings increasingly tense and volatile. Independence Day in this era brought together Southern aristocrats, river merchants, and religious refugees in a gathering that was highly stratified and built entirely on a slave-driven economy. This economy was driven by two massive logistical forces: the river-based steamboat trade and the overland wagon trains that met in Clay County. This combination of wealth, Southern identity, and social stratification primed the region for the brutal guerrilla warfare of the 1860s. Thank you for watching this Roosterville USA deep dive. If you want to see more investigations into our local history, please subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.